So it's time for another gardening week, and I'm doing one of my favourite things, which is filling in gaps. I don't really have much space left on the allotment now. Pretty much every bed is crammed full of stuff, but I do have gaps kind of opening up. So I have taken like a row of lettuce out of here and put all these beetroot in last week, and they're looking really nice now. And I did have a few lettuce here as well that I harvested as whole heads, and so I've got a really nice patch of beetroot in there. And I did have a cauliflower for some strange reason. I put a cauliflower in here. It was just a spare, and I thought, oh, it's going to grow really nicely there, kind of out of the way of the tomatoes and stuff down the back. And then I realised that one cauliflower is going to take up the space of that whole beetroot bed. So anyway, I took that out and transplanted it somewhere else. Anyway, over the next 3 or 4 weeks, I should think that this whole bed here will be cleared and be transplanted with new seedlings. Probably a mix of Asian greens and more lettuces and maybe a few brassicas and things like that. But yeah, that's for another week. So let's look at what other bits and pieces I've done. So just here I did have a patch of very scrappy lettuces. They're my favourite actually, which is Riccia, but for whatever reason they'd got really wet from some baskets and things that had been up above them, and as a result got fungal growth on the leaves and they were never going to recover. So I took those all out and just popped some replacement Riccia in down around the sides there, and then some Burpees Golden beetroot there. So now I've got more beetroot than I've ever put in at this time of year, because it worked so well last year that I'm really keen to harvest them smaller and earlier in the year, and also to take a really nice leaf harvest off them. So I'm quite excited to see how this goes. You know, beetroot's quite one of these few things that you can bring to harvest from a January sowing before you need to clear the space for your summer fruits. So yeah, it's quite unique in that respect. Not totally unique, but definitely worth growing from that perspective. And as I pointed out last week, again, this is one of the reasons why it's really useful to have grow lights. It just lets you bring a crop to harvest before you need the space for another succession. And without those grow lights, you just miss those timing windows. So it's really worth it. So this is one of my pepper beds, and I don't need this until late May. So again, I'm thinking, like, what can I get out of this bed? Obviously I've got some overwintered lettuces. Quite a lot of them have either been lost or harvested. At this time of year I'm losing things to stem rot mainly. That's the biggest issue. Although there are one variety of lettuce that I put down there, I lost all of those to mildew. So that was again an experimental variety. Always looking for new varieties that do really well over winter, and that one didn't. So what I've done is I've just filled all these gaps with lettuce and tatsoi, and I'm hoping that all of this will be harvested by the middle of March. In the middle of March I'll put spinach in here, and that spinach will grow until the end, as I said, of May, or towards the end of May, when I'll put the peppers in. So yeah, quite a few successions out of this bed hopefully. And this bed was really dry, and that may have been one of the reasons why I lost some of these things to mildew, because of stress. But I really didn't want to water it until we got some sunshine. So we finally got some sunshine, so I've watered it, but now I need to kind of dry it off. So I'm going to give it a lot of airflow and some shelter from the sun with this low tunnel. Just leave it open like this for a few hours, and then close it, but keep it vented sort of about like that to keep good airflow in there. Otherwise, yeah, it might go badly wrong. And then down here I've just put the last of my red cabbages, although I've got some spares left over, into this, underneath this Envirotex fleece. It's not particularly warm, but it just takes the edge off the wind. And I've also planted into here a whole load of spring cabbages. So you've got red, green all the way down here. And obviously those spring cabbages won't be able to grow to maturity, but I've got loads of spring cabbages, so I haven't got any space for them basically. So I'm going to harvest those for spring greens, and then once I've taken those out, obviously the red cabbages will have more space and they'll carry on. So I thought I'd just show you these. So these are red patchouli, and as you can see they're going to seed. Hopefully you can see that. And so that's what I've been saying for a few weeks now. It won't be long before these are going to seed, and then just in a week that's what happens. And it's the same with the tatsoi down there starting to go to seed, and that's why I've got all this calabrese in here, because this calabrese will take over this bed pretty soon, and I won't be missing this red stem patchouli. But it's also why I tried to start another batch of red stem patchouli in December. I'll show you that now. So here's my Asian green bed, and as you can see, it's nowhere near ready yet, but I've got 2 weeks basically of harvest from the polytunnel beds before I take those out. I've got some komatsuma, some tatsoi, and just a few more leaves of red stem patchouli. So not a lot, and not a lot of time, but by then I think I'll be taking a harvest off these just for baby leaf greens for the salads. Not for cooking greens, they won't be big enough for that, but hopefully I'll have something resembling kind of continuity of Asian greens in my diet, and that's what I'm always aiming for. But yeah, this bed's looking really quite nice actually. I'm quite pleased with it. And I just started stocking up, so I've got some seed compost down here, and I've bought loads of bags, well not loads, but 4 bags of strulch, which I've got in there. So those are going to be for the melon beds, and I've got last year's strulch in those bags there. So I'm going to put last year's down first and then top it off with this year's, because I suspect that the slug and snail deterrent is only really effective in fresh strulch, but the ability, the water retention, mulching properties work just fine with the old stuff. And then in these boxes, these are all full of tomato halos, and I don't grow that many tomatoes, but what I do I kind of use these for everything. So I use these for my squashes, of which I've got a lot, and they're all sort of planted like this in the paths. And yeah, just I'm going to be using them for all my pepper beds. So I've got 36 peppers, and for my cucumbers, and for my, as I said, for my melons, and yeah, basically anywhere I can use them, I use them because they're really good. And there's loads of other alternative ways to sort of achieve the same objective, but I really like them. And finally, for the allotment, I've just brought all of my spare brassicas into the polytunnel. These don't mind a bit of a frost, they should be okay, although ideally these little tiny ones won't have a frost on them until they're a bit bigger, but certainly these big ones will be absolutely fine. These were little ones, just a quick layer of fleece will look after those. And I want to do that because I'm just sort of starting to move all my summer stuff into the greenhouse at home. So I'll soon have loads of onions and strawberries and summer brassicas, and eventually cucumbers and tomatoes and all that sort of thing in the greenhouse. So I need to start making some space. And unusually, I'm just in the kitchen garden for an hour today. Try and spend an hour in the kitchen garden each week, and this time we've been putting down spent potato compost as a mulch and wood chips. So it's looking quite neat, not very productive. I've also just played musical chairs with my trees, but more importantly I've fertilised these with Marshall's Organic Extra, which is like a concentrated farmyard manure, and it's perfect for things like trees in tubs, because you can, like, I don't know, 6 handfuls or something like that, is, you know, the equivalent of probably 3 or 4 inches of compost, and you just can't get 3 or 4 inches of compost into these pots every year. So maybe even more than that actually. And I've just moved them all around to try and fit them in better. And then down here, these are the field beans that I planted last week. They've put on loads of growth. I'm just letting them get a bit better established before I start harvesting them. The first pick is always a bit scary because you're basically just cutting the tops off them and hoping they regrow. And they do, provided you've given a little bit of time to get settled in. And also put that Marshall's Organic Extra farmyard manure stuff on these strawberries. I tend to put it on all the perennial beds. It's just to say a lot easier than a thick layer of compost. And I put it on the raspberries and the gooseberries in the pots, and the cherry tree over there. Same logic. It's just, you just can't put enough compost down in such a small area as that for a tree of that size. Same with that grapevine. It's just not a huge amount of space there to give it much food. And same with that cherry tree. 2 tubs of peas in the greenhouse, and I cleared a lot of space ready for my summer crops. And I've just been potting on all of this is my 3rd succession of brassicas. I've got some spring cabbages, some Pentland Brig kale, some Preludium Savoy cabbages, and just 1 rogue purple, what is it, pak choi, red stem pak choi, which I've just popped that in because my others are going to seed, and so I thought, well, why not just grow that one on. And yeah, Calabrese Marathon, so quite a nice selection there. And they're going to stay in the greenhouse now for a few weeks and just bring them on a little bit. I've put them in these really big pots because they're not going to get planted out until well into March, I should think. So they're going to be pretty big plants by then. They are under this little tiny grow light here, but it's not on for very many hours a day, just a couple of hours a day, just to top and tail the day. So just starting my early potatoes. I've got Swift, which are quite nicely chitted for this time of year at least. Charlotte, which is just starting, so they should be up pretty soon. And Winston. So I'm not recommending Winston, I'm just trying them out because some people said they're a great early baking potato and other people said they're watery and horrible. So I think you just have to try it for yourself and see how they go. And so this will give me a little succession, and I'll do the same thing in 2 or 3 weeks time and just keep on repeating that every 2 or 3 weeks for the next couple of months until I plant my main crops. I've just sown all my seeds for the first 2 weeks of February. I'll put them up on the side of the screen so you can see what I've sown, and of course you can find all the details in the newsletter as well. But yeah, quite pleased to have that done. I am away on holiday now, so no harvest for this week. My name's Steve. This is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.